Hello, and welcome to Handled Ish Productivity for the Imperfect, a weekly podcast for those that want to elevate their productivity but are not looking for perfection. I'm your host, Betsy Hayes, and I'm really happy you're here with me. Coming to you from Podcast Land and YouTube and the KC24 CBS 47 Plus Smart Television app, and also on CMAC TV, CMAC.TV, the Community Media Access Collaborative. And thanks to everyone for carrying the podcast. This is episode 105. What should you plan? So, this is the next in our series. Little review: when you should plan, always on Fridays. See that one if you're not sold on that yet. Where you should plan, somewhere comfy, and think about planning in the same place each week. Kind of helps the mindset sitch. We talked about who to plan last week, and that is everyone that you care about spending time with. And now we're going to talk about what to plan. And this will be a slightly shorter conversation because it's kind of obvious, kind of not. What you should plan, again, this is all my opinion, both professionally, personally, and through observation and research. That what you should plan is everything that you actually want to happen, and everything that you need, want, and get to do, with the exception of if there is something that you do on a regular basis, like it's already a habit and it's tied to something that you always do. I don't think that needs to be in your plan. So, for example, I take my vitamin, I take vitamins slash medicine 3 times a day. Some I don't have to take with food. So literally when I wake up, I take those. God willing, I will continue to wake up. So I will continue to take those immediately. I have some associated with breakfast. And when I eat breakfast, I take those vitamins. And then the other ones are at the end of the day when I brush my teeth. So they are tied distinctly with things that I always do. And so I don't have to put them on the planner. So that's a little cheat code if you're wanting to. It's called habit stacking, which is a phrase I love and a concept I love. If you're wanting to do something regularly, attach it to something that you absolutely will not forget to do or not do. And then it becomes part of your regular routine. If you've already done that, amazing, keep going. If you're wanting to create that, what usually really is helpful is visual cues. For example, with my evening medicine slash vitamins, I literally have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday little container. It's got AM and PM on it. And I will literally put it next to my toothbrush and toothpaste on the counter in the bathroom. So at night, when I go ahead and brush my teeth, I will automatically go ahead and take those. So I never forget to do it. Yes, it is a pretty solid habit, but also I have that visual cue. You can do the same thing with things that you want to bring to places on a regular basis, right? Put them underneath your keys. And that way you definitely will make sure that you remember because they're by your keys. So these visual cues are something that can be insanely helpful. A visual cue can also come in the form of a sticky note. Everyone knows that I'm obsessed. Sticky notes are useful in so many ways. I happen to have, let's see, four, four of them next to me while I'm recording this podcast. I love to have fun colors because why not, right? We talked about how important fun and whimsy is in the whole scheme of productivity and a happy life. So those visual cues can help with that. But or and if something is not already in your world that you absolutely do all the time and or are doing this little habit stacking and don't feel like it needs to go on the plan, needs to go on the plan, right? Needs to go on the calendar, needs to go on the schedule, all the things. The what is very, very inclusive if you are wanting to have the life you want. I have not found a way around that. So I think it's something that we really have to do. And here's where I'm going to challenge you a little bit. I advocate looking at your hardscape of your weeks ahead of time. And in a couple of weeks, we'll get really into the weeds of how to plan. But one of the things, or excuse me, and one of the things that is part of that is looking at the hardscape, meaning the places where your human form has to be in a certain place at a certain time, right? These time very specific things. And I encourage you, it's a little challenge. I'm doing it to myself too, to not have anything on your calendar that you are thinking about as a have to do. I think we might want to reframe everything as a want or get to do. And let me kind of elaborate on that. Have to do land, and this is something you've probably heard before. This is not a new concept, but it's something I think we need to take a deeper dive into. When we think about stuff that we have to do, there's a little bit of a kind of drag, heaviness, unwillingness, all kinds of sort of negative thoughts and emotions that go into things when we perceive them as have to do's. I would argue that there literally is nothing that we have to do. Obviously, if we choose not to do things, there are consequences, right? Instead of saying I have to go to work, we certainly can say I get to or want to go to work. We can choose not to, but we're probably not going to have a job, right? So we can do whatever we want. We just have to make sure we are willing to take the consequences. And we get to / want to go to work because we really enjoy being able to pay our bills. And if we're lucky, we love our jobs or like our jobs or love or like parts of our jobs, right? And so these are, ways that we are spending a big, big chunk of our life. So talking about having to go to work just doesn't feel good for your overall psyche. So we get to go, we want to go. These are things that are on our calendar because we have chosen that doing them is more beneficial to us than not doing them, right? The consequences of not going are not okay with us. So we're going to continue to do it. So we want to, we get to. So just a little mindset shift when we're looking at our hardscape. Don't let it feel weighty and heavy, right? These are not things you have to do. These are things you get to do, you want to do because work pays your bills and provides you with purpose and meaning, hopefully, at least a little bit. And I believe really that every job can provide purpose and meaning. There's actually a lot of really fun, my dryer's done. There we go. Imperfect podcast on brand. There's actually a lot of really, really cool stories and research about how literally every job can provide purpose and meaning. So if you're interested in that, I encourage you to take a deep dive and maybe we'll do that on a future podcast. And we have to, we're not going to say that anymore, pick up our kids from school. We get to, want to, right? Because we're grateful we have kids and we're grateful they have education, right? So there's definitely different ways to talk about the hardscape of your calendar. So the what is all the things. Okay. So this was a softball, right? This was low hanging fruit as far as decision making is concerned. And we'll talk about the why and the how in subsequent weeks as we continue this series of using the 5 W's and the H for planning. So that is what I have today. Have the most amazing week. And remember, you are doing way better than you think you are. Trust me.